Hello, everyone. Nice to see you all tonight on the 20th Annual Transgender Day of Remembrance. This has always been, of course, like a very heavy and very important day. For myself, this is the 15th day that I've been participating in this event. And my name is Maceo Person. I use he, him pronouns, and I work with the Office of Transgender Initiatives. Yay! Our office is the first trans-led government office in the country, and we work with community members to advance policies, programs, and equity for trans and gender non-conforming communities across San Francisco. And that is why we're here today, because this is such an important day. Today, like I've been paying attention to a lot of videos and a lot of speakers throughout the day about what people are saying. And one of the things that is so striking about this day that I know a lot of us can see when we see these signs that we're carrying is that of the 26 transgender women that have been killed this year, 24 of them are Black transgender women. And with that, there was a speaker earlier today, a performance artist and poet named Miss Mojo, who asked, what do we do when two Black transgender women are getting murdered every month? What do we do? And that's a really important and hard question for us to answer about what we can do. And in that, like I wanted to take leadership in trans women of color and what they're saying. And one of the things, Raquel Willis is an amazing, amazing editor at Out Magazine. She recently wrote a post today about a 13-point plan of all the things that we can do. And one of the big things, right, is investing in our communities, investing in our leadership, putting resources in trans women of color led organizations, and particularly with Black transgender women. And so with that, I think kicking off Transgender Day of Remembrance, it's important to center that. And so I want to invite leaders to come and have a word about the day, who've been part of organizing this event throughout these past few months, and who are doing important work in our community. So without further ado, I want to first invite Akira Jackson with Tasha's Coalition, who's been doing incredible anti-violence work and doing incredible work in getting people housed in San Francisco and making sure that people have a safe place to stay. So welcome, Akira Jackson.
Welcome, everyone. We love you. I love you too. The only way to beat hate is with love. And the only way to love is to be together. That's why we are all here today. Danielle Castro, one of the founders of Taja's Coalition, that's one of her words today as she give me. It's been almost 5 years since Taja Gabriela de Jesus was murdered, and that the founders, the leaders, and the family stood here at City Hall calling out for support from our city officials and allies to end the genocide of transgender women. Taja's Coalition assembled here for a die-in on February 10th, 2015. Leaders such as Janetta Johnson, which is the executive director of TGIJP, Isa Noyola, Danny West, Brianna Sinclair, Vanessa Wari, and Danielle Castro, just to name a few, stood in solidarity for all of our fallen sisters. That demonstration still resonates today. Since then, Taja's Coalition has dedicated its mission in addressing systems of oppression by not only calling out to those who perpetuate acts of violence, whether verbal, emotional, and/or physical, but we hold them accountable. The vision of Taja's Coalition is safety for trans women in a world free of prison industrial complex and state violence. Currently, Taja's Coalition has taken the responsibility in providing trainings to housing service provider. We are aware that 70% of trans people in shelters experience harassment. One out of two trans people are homeless, and that trans people are 18 times more likely to experience homelessness. Last Monday, Taja's Coalition launched the Our Trans Home citywide media campaign on the Muni buses, which features the staggering findings from experience of trans people seeking shelter. Campaigns such as this has been one of several projects that the coalition has produced in addition to addressing the immediate issues of trans and GNC folk, issues such as advocating and supporting individuals experiencing eviction, threats to citizenship, support in obtaining legal gender-affirming documents and work permits, providing leads to gainful employment, transgender leadership development, and community mobilization and correspondence. Since Mayor London Breed made a stance in ending homelessness, she has made it evident to include our trans and GNC community. The mayor accepted our acts in providing trans-inclusive housing and trans rental subsidies. As it pertains to this project, Charges will assist in providing expertise in developing impactful solutions to inform this project so that it maintains the integrity of its true purpose, which is to get trans and GNC folk housed, keep them housed, and improve housing services. That's okay. Furthermore, as we observe this day of remembrance for those that were brutally murdered because society has no values for our lives, let us also take a stance today to tell these individuals that upholds systems of oppression and those that could give a damn about our lives and our futures. Not one more. Thank you. I'll bring back up Mateo.
So this is also like a big moment for San Francisco, and we're so excited to welcome you here to the steps. Not excited, but this is a big deal, and we think that it's incredibly important. And because of that, and to mark the importance of this, is how important this is for City Hall, Mayor Breed has joined us today to say a few words.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you all this evening on an occasion that we know is very difficult for so many people. I grew up in the city and I grew up in a community where sadly violence was normalized. Gun violence in particular took away the lives of so many people that I loved, so many people that I cared about. And sadly, in this country, we see that we have still not done enough to address what is happening with gun violence and how it is important to make sure that this doesn't continue to happen in this country. The same, sadly, with so many incredible people in our trans community throughout the country. The loss of 26 lives in just this past year, and unfortunately, disproportionately, again, African American women who are victimized just because they are being who they are meant to be. It is so unfortunate that every year when we come here as a day of remembrance, but we also sadly have had to add more people to that list. It is heartbreaking. But I am also excited about the future because so many people are here. So many people are paying attention. So many people are advocating and pushing and fighting and are not giving up on the need for change in this city and in this country. There is no reason why anyone should have to walk anywhere in fear of being victimized for any reason. And that's why we are here today. We must remember because we have to rededicate ourselves every single time to a better future so that there is not one more person that we lose to violence in any way. I want to thank the Trans Advisory Committee and the advocates for continuing to push for the kinds of policy changes where in this city we are making historical investments. our Trans Home SF, so many incredible investments in the arts and our Trans Film Festival, continuing to make not only the financial investments, but the changes to policies, and being an example for the rest of the world to follow. We are doing this because we have incredible leaders and incredible people who continue to advocate, including Claire Farley, who has been an amazing advocate for change in this city. Tonight, in honor of those who are no longer with us, City Hall is lit up in the color of our transgender flag as a way to make sure that this city knows how important this day is, how important the people are that we have lost, and that their lives are not forgotten, and that as a result, we are committed now more than ever to make sure that the change leads to the result that we all want, not one more ever. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Breed, for those words. My name is Naomi Wright. I am a Black transgender woman, unapologetically Black, unapologetically trans, and unapologetically a woman. Go on, girl. I don't have an elaborate speech today. When I was asked to speak about what TDOR means to me. And so I'm gonna do just that. As a woman of Black trans experience, I'm using TDOR as a way to make myself available to understanding that this fight did not start with me. I think about the Marsha P. Johnsons, the Miss Billy Coopers, the amazing aunties that stand behind me, that stand with me, that have been in this fight for a long time. I'm reminded of the beautiful souls who have helped pave the way for women like me. I'm reminded of my siblings who don't have access to the education I've had. I'm reminded of my siblings who don't have access to just basic necessities such as gainful employment, healthcare, trans-inclusive healthcare, and so much more. At the same time, I think about, the Janets of the world. I think about the Lavernes of the world, and I think about all of the potential that has been lost and all of the potential that still exists. I think about the potential of myself. I think about the potential of everyone on this stage. I think about the potential of everyone in this audience. And I really invite us today to use this space as a way to celebrate the lives of these women and to celebrate the potential of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Naomi. And next I would like to invite Sofia Rios from ELA.
Buenas noches a todos. Mi nombre es Sofía Ríos Durantes, and I work for ELA para Trans Latinas. Sorry. I would like to start honoring all the beautiful trans people who is present here and say to you that ELA para Trans Latinas, we see you, we feel you, and we honor you for the great gift your life is. I want to say, in the name of the organization I belong, thank you to all our trans siblings who we are honoring here today, the lives of those who were silent by the hands of violence and bigotry. We are here to raise the awareness of this violence epidemic against us, against trans people. At ELA, we believe in the healing, in in restorative justice, in peace and love among communities. So we work hard to prevent violence, but also create actions and awareness, because awareness is a daily based practice which requires a human responsibility towards those who are facing the worst phase of violence, marginalization, and discrimination as our trans siblings. If you are a non-trans person who is shocked about the epidemic of murders against trans women, the majority trans women of color, you can start knowing about us, know about our struggles, know about our lives, and learn from us who we are, and what challenges we face in our daily basis. Sometimes I heard and read comments justifying the murder of trans women with ridiculous reason as their lifestyle, their chosen life, because they were sex workers, etc. I'm forgetting that the only responsible person of a murder is the person who caused harm and killed her, him, them. There are many ways to kill someone. You can deny them education, and they won't have the skills and tools to get a job. You can deny them job opportunities, and they will need to put themselves in a risk to get food and basic needs to survive. You can deny access to the community, and this person will be isolated, causing emotional and spiritual harm, and make them more vulnerable for any kind of violence that might learn not only of the death of the spirit, but the physical death, as we can see every year in our TDOR. We are honoring the 22 trans sisters whose lives were taken away from us, from their families and communities, but also remembering those trans siblings who are feeling their countries to seek life and found dead here under ICE detention. We honored Roxana, trans sister from Honduras, and Johanna, trans sister from El Salvador. We also honored the lives of those trans siblings around the world who hatred took their lives away and make us realize that this epidemic is globally, but we can and we need to do better. Estamos aquí presentes para recordar a todas nuestras hermanas trans latinas. Estamos aquí presentes porque queremos que sus voces no sean calladas, que sean escuchadas, y porque las que estamos aquí nos vamos a quedar. Esta es una ciudad que nos apoya y que sabe que estamos aquí, que sabe quiénes somos, que les importa nuestra vida. Y por eso debemos trabajar juntas para salir adelante y para tener menos causas de muerte en nuestra comunidad. Muchas gracias. Buenas noches.
Thank you so much. Next, I want to welcome icon, mother to many, founder of Trans Life, Pride Grand Marshal, Miss Billy Cooper.
Hello, everyone. First, I would like to say that I'm so honored to be here. But I would also like to say we can never forget remembrance and resilience and Black trans excellence, Black trans excellence, and Black trans equity, and Black trans equality. As I stand here, each and every time a trans woman is murdered, or trans man, that takes a little part of me away. You know, I am 61 years old, and also as I stand here on the shoulders of many trans men and women, and you know, I just want to say, it's also about respect. It's about respect and human dignity and human consciousness and human life. And, you know, it's horrific and it's horrible that the United States of America treats people the way they do. You know, the life expectancy for a black trans woman is 29 years old as we stand here. And I'm 61. I am so lucky to be alive. I am so very lucky and grateful and honored to be here, living in San Francisco for over 35 years and being a community activist and fighting for transgender human rights, the rights that we have been neglected and denied for many, many years. And my black trans sisters and my Latina sisters should have not been murdered, should have not been subjected to ICE, to all the police, to all the brutality, and to all the inhuman treatment. And I would like to say to all the senators and all the congressmen and all the state representatives and all the mayors and the governors and to that little orange-haired man living in the White House, I just want to say your time is limited. You know, you have to answer to someone too. Give us our rights that we deserve. So I am tired of begging for the scraps off the table. I am tired. We have to realize that we have to vote because every vote counts. And we need to have some transgender congressmen and representatives and senators. And we need the first transgender president of the United States. And I am Miss Billy Cooper. And in the words of Miss Major Griffith Gracie, we're still fucking here.
Well, with that, thank you so much, Miss Billy Cooper.
Thank you so much, everyone. My name is Claire Farley, and I just want to thank you all for coming out. You really represent what makes San Francisco great, and we cannot do this work without our allies. Thank you to Mayor Breed, and thank you to all of our amazing, amazing speakers. It's an honor to serve you, and I look forward to the rest of the work we have ahead. So now let's march over to Hastings. Thank you.